61-47 win over Northern Arizona. It's Towson State and UMBC for the Battle of Baltimore. You're looking at the UMBC Fieldhouse in Catonsville, Maryland for tonight's matchup between the UMBC Retrievers and the Towson State Tigers. Hello and good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Voss, and tonight joining me on tonight's broadcast will be ex-American University player Billy Stone. And Billy, two teams that are going into their 25th meeting, but not strangers to each other. But both teams presenting a new look this year.
Well, without a doubt, Terry Truax has his best team in his 6-year tenure. This team is going to be led by a trio of transfers, most notably Kurk Lee, a transfer from Western Kentucky, who 2 years ago led the Baltimore area in scoring. And also he's going to be starting a freshman point guard who loves to put it up. He averaged 27 points a game last year.
Okay, that'll be UMBC and Towson State coming up next. Stay with us.
There's a time to work, and there's a time to play, and there's a time to let your trouble slip away. Play the Maryland Lottery. Just step up, come on and play, so let the fun begin. Why don't you start today? Play the Maryland Lottery. You know this could be a lucky day.
Hi, I'm Pam Laster, and I'm a teller with First National Bank of Maryland. At First National, we believe that you have the right to expect quality service and quality services. That's why we try to exceed the expected for you, not just some of the time, all of the time. Stop in and see for yourself. Excuse me, please. I have a customer. Good morning. How are you?
First National Bank of Maryland, exceeding the expected.
Just seconds away from the tip-off of tonight's game. Billy, let's go over the starting lineups real quick. First, for Towson State, who are some of the key matchups we can look for tonight?
Well, I think the biggest key for Towson State is who's going to guard Kenny Reynolds. The assignment's going to go to a 6'9" center, Stephen Dorsey. He's a senior. But, Mike, when you talk about guarding a guy like Kenny Reynolds, it's a team effort. Kenny Reynolds is not going to be guarded by Stephen Dorsey. It's going to take a complete effort. And if Kenny Reynolds catches the ball in the paint, it's too late to guard him at that point.
Well, let's talk about Kenny Reynolds for a second. He's a player John Thompson of Georgetown said he would love to have on his team. And a lot of people who have never heard of UMBC might be surprised that there are some caliber players like that here in Catonsville.
Well, Kenny Reynolds could consistently give you 15 points and 15 rebounds a game. He opened up against Northern Arizona and gave you 13 points and 15 rebounds. He's the kind of player that's going to have to lead him this year. The combination of Kenny Reynolds on the inside and the shooting of Larry Simmons could really carry this team. This is the best chance UMBC has ever had to have a good season, and they've got a new coach.
Okay, let's talk about Towson State on the other hand. Transfer is the name of the game there. They have a trio of transfers, and they're all three going to start tonight.
Well, Kurk Lee is the most notable. He's the one who's going to put a lot of points on the board for Towson State. He's the transfer from Western Kentucky. It's a team that's going to change character this year. Towson State has traditionally been a team that slowed the ball down and looked for their opportunities. This team, I expect to press from the opening gun and to really force tempo. It's the best, most athletic team Terry Truax has ever had.
Two athletic teams ready to tip it off. Cedric Island ready to jump it up for UMBC, and UMBC controls the tap. Levi Franklin out top. Left side to Faust.
Well, it didn't take the referee long to get involved in this game, did it?
Quick whistle, but I'm not sure what he's going to call. It doesn't look like a foul.
What UMBC will do is allow Levi Franklin and Larry Simmons to both handle the ball. They're pretty much interchangeable point guards. And there's Simmons now with it.
Left side to Faust from 15. It's short. Rebound, Williamson. Towson State up quickly. Boyd. In the middle, Boyd. Doesn't get the roll. Back inside.
Kennell Jones scores there for Towson State to open it up. It didn't take Devin Boyd, the freshman out of Baltimore, long to put up his first shot.
UMBC back quickly. Simmons, right side to Franklin. Franklin from just short of three-point range. That'll go for two.
That's what UMBC has to do. Push the ball in to Kenny Reynolds. What Kenny Reynolds can do is score almost at will in there, but when they double down, free up your jump shooters, Levi Franklin and Larry Simmons for the three-pointer. That time, Levi Franklin was just inside the line, connects on a two-pointer, but that's pretty much their strategy. And what Towson has to do is keep the ball out of the hands of Kenny Reynolds.
A bad jump shot, I guess any jump shot that goes in isn't a bad jump shot, but Levi Franklin straddled the three-point line. He would have backed up 6 inches, he might have had 3 on that.
How tough is it to square up, and when it's worth an extra point, it's something you should do.
Okay, the floor is clear now from almost a capacity crowd here at UMBC.
I think they were going to call that a technical a couple years ago, but I think they're just going to let that go this year. Let the paper go on the floor, and if they do it again, I think we'll get a violation.
Williamson on the right side.
Towson State's running the old UCLA high post, the 2-1-2 set.
Very effective for Bill Walton in his days at UCLA.
Well, I guess that what they want to do is free some of their athletes up underneath, and there you got their freshmen.
No hope inside. 6'1" Boyd was just overpowered, and Reynolds comes up with a strong board. Quickly up court, Levi Franklin. Right side to Jeff Reynolds.
Jeff Reynolds, the brother of Kenny Reynolds. Both are seniors, but Kenny's actually a year older than Jeff. Jeff was a medical redshirt last year.
Fractured ankle put Jeff on the sidelines. There's Jeff inside, off the glass. Jeff Reynolds.
Jeff may not be as well known as his brother Kenny, but he was the most valuable player of this team 2 years ago before Kenny came on the scene. And I'll tell you what, if he's going to play inside like that, it could be a long night for Towson State.
Boyd controlling up top for Towson. Almost out of bounds.
What's the violation here?
I think Dwayne Fowl stepped on the end line when he went for that steal. Kennell Jones will inbound for Towson.
Something interesting to watch will be tonight for Towson State. Devin Boyd, as we've mentioned, is a high-scoring point guard right out of high school. He's already taken 2 shots. If Towson State's going to be effective, he's going to have to not only score well, he's going to have to pass the ball well.
Inside, Kelly Williamson.
It's another one of those transfers. It's got to be really good feeling for Terry Truex to go into a season with real athletes on his team this year.
Towson State has good size up front, but a lot of times when you go for size, you lose some athletic ability, but not in this Towson State team. Good size athletes.
There's Kenny Reynolds missing his shot, but that's exactly what UMBC wants. The ball in Kenny Reynolds' hand within 10 feet.
Here comes Boyd down the middle. Off to Williamson, off the glass, and a foul. I believe that foul will be on Kenny Reynolds.
I tell you what, that's a great move by young Devin Boyd. And he gets the ball inside, and they get a foul on Kenny Reynolds. They get everything they want. The 2 points, a foul, and a foul on Kenny Reynolds.
Early on, Billy, it looks like UMBC is going to a 3-quarter court trap, but that time they got beat coming back.
Well, I think they realize that they're playing against a freshman point guard. They want to force him into making some decisions that maybe won't be so comfortable with this early in the year. Not a bad decision on Earl Hawkins' part.
Kelly Williamson's free throw. Bounces no good. Rebound, Jeff Reynolds. Quickly up court, Levi Franklin on the left side. He'll bring it out top and set up the offense for the Retrievers. Dwayne Faust. Right side, Simmons. Towson in a quick man-to-man defense. Simmons from the top of the key. No good.
I'll tell you what, Larry Simmons missed that shot, but he won't miss too many open jumpers. He's their best three-point shooter. He made both of his attempts against Northern Arizona. Such a good player that as a junior, his next basket will put him in the top 10 of all-time leading scorers in UMBC history. Oh, that's a crucial foul. It's a second foul on Kenny Reynolds, and that'll change the strategy of Earl Hawkins' club immediately. They've got to go to number 33, Jim France, 6'9", Pennsylvania native out of Connellsville.
Well, one thing they pick up in France is the ability to shoot about a 15-foot jump shot. Kenny's pretty good inside. Kenny Reynolds, that is, inside 10, but France will move it out a little bit.
Well, he's gonna get to show his wares pretty quick in this game.
Dwayne Faust.
I thought he walked there.
Try to go inside. Simmons is there, though. Left side, Franklin. No good, and Boyd has the long rebound.
Both teams a little nervous early.
Nice defensive play by Dwayne Faust, and
Yeah,
Jeff Reynolds makes the save.
But not a good pass, Mike. He's throwing it over two guys' heads. If it makes, it's gonna have to be a perfect pass. And I'm sure Terry Truex would rather him slow it down and get in the offense, especially with Kenny Reynolds out of the game.
Towson in a man-to-man, pushing UMBC to the outer limits. Inside France, he'll take the turnaround 5-footer. No good, but Jeff Reynolds is there with the rebound. He gets it taken away.
Quick hands there, quick hands.
Here comes Boyd bringing it up the middle. Driving down, layup.
Nice move, and as you see, Devin Boyd will force the action all night long, but UMBC is gonna have to get back and not necessarily block his shots, but set there for some charges.
He gave up 6 inches moving inside, but made the layup. Cross-court pass to Levi Franklin. Inside to France. Back out to Franklin. The jumper shot, but it looks like he was mugged on the foul there.
He was mugged, but UMBC is trying to score their points all from the perimeter right now, and they're a little nervous. The baskets are not falling, so what they've got to do is be a little more patient in their offense, because they're getting the ball inside when they're patient with it, and take their time and get some easier, more high percentage shots.
Well, we mentioned Towson's outstanding height inside, but UMBC has some height of their own.
Well, they've got some height, but more than height, they've got some great athletes. But now with France, and France is not known as an inside player, he's going to want to take some perimeter jumpers, and Earl Hawkins better hope they fall quick.
Here's Levi Franklin at the line.
Franklin's a shooter. He wasn't used much last year, though.
Franklin's first attempt is good. Levi Franklin's a junior out of Central High School in Capitol Heights, Maryland. Excellent outside shooter, and they have the tandem with Simmons and Franklin. His second shot is good. With Towson State leading 8 and UMBC 6. We're going to pause for this timeout. We'll be right back.
Our first television timeout.
Hi, I'm Chris Hannaby, and I'm a small business banking specialist with First National Bank of Maryland. We know that business people expect quality service and quality services. That's why we try so hard to exceed the expected. Because at First National, we're big on small business. Pardon me, please. I have a customer meeting.
First National Bank of Maryland, exceeding the expected.
You know what one of Maryland's best-kept secrets is? It's going down to Ocean City off-season. The fresh air, ocean breeze, make it a perfect place for an afternoon or a weekend. And the drive down here is half the fun. There's so much to see along the way. So what are you waiting for? Summer? Do something different. Come on down the ocean this season. You know, this is really the greatest.
Returning to action, Towson State 8, UMBC 6. Ball just thrown inbounds. Towson State controlling up front. Right side jumper, nothing but net for Kurk Lee.
Kurk Lee, the transfer out of Western Kentucky. And Kurk Lee comes in with reputation of really being able to score a lot of points. Early action has UMBC 2 for 7 from the field. Towson State at 4 for 7.
5-second violation there called on Jeff Reynolds. And as you pointed out, Billy, UMBC rather, taking a lot of outside jumpers early.
Well, they're getting just as many attempts at the basket. It's just when they're not falling, the outside shot's not falling, you got to establish an inside game and play inside out instead of outside in.
Kurk Lee out top for Towson. Dorsey. There's a battle for the ball. Who's going to win it? Looks like Boyd won the race, but Towson's going to win the war.
Well, I'll tell you what they've done, Mike. They've taken Devin Boyd out to spell him with a little breather. They've put the ball handling responsibilities into Kurk Lee's hands, which seems a little funny because their other point guard is on the bench, Lewis Lloyd. He's not dressed tonight. And so they're playing pretty much with at the unfinished swing right now.
Run upside. Looks like it's going to be a foul, though, before the shot on Stephen Dorsey.
Towson State finds out real early they've got some ball handling problems without Boyd in the game. I think they're going to have to get the young freshman back in there pretty quickly.
Looks like neither team, Billy, is controlling the tempo or doing some of the things that they want to do.
Well, I think both teams would like a up-tempo. I think Towson more than UMBC. But I think it's early in the season, you have trouble establishing exactly what you want, and especially with a new coach as UMBC has. They're still in the feeling out stages. UMBC's now put in a new point guard, number 10, Mike Moody. He's also a transfer from University of Massachusetts.
Jim France's first shot is good. He'll have one more shot. Very good touch for a big man. Jim France connects both, and UMBC is down by 2.
And here comes UMBC with some pressure, really testing Towson's ball handlers. He almost got an over-the-back call there.
Very close. Kurk up top. Knocked away. Good defensive play by Dwayne Faust. UMBC seems to be cutting off that first pass.
Well, what's happening is UMBC's cutting off that first pass, but Towson State is pretty much telegraphing it, and they know exactly what they're trying to do. You've got to make either quicker cuts or go back door or do something to make UMBC react to Towson State.
UMBC in man-to-man defense. Lee out top. Calling the play. Doesn't seem like they can get in the set offense. 20 seconds on the shot clock, and they haven't even attempted to go inside.
Well, there have been easier offenses to get into the high post. A lot of teams have moved away from it in the past few years. And what it's broken down to is Kurk trying to turn around jump shot. He gets a walk call. You know how happy he is about that one.
Lee turned around. It looked like he might have had a shot blocked, but referee didn't see it that way. He called him for traveling. And it wasn't a good jump shot, nonetheless.
And here comes Mike Moody with the ball. A lot of quickness on this guy.
Inside to France for the turnaround. Looked like he shuffled his feet.
I'm sorry, it's Mike Mundy. He did shuffle his feet. But what happens when you have a big guy, he was cutting to the block. He should have waited till he got to the block and then thrown the bounce pass down to him. When he's moving, that turnover is as much responsibility on the wing pass as it is for the big guy.
We're under 14 minutes in the first half. Towson 10, UMBC 8. Neither team quite establishing a tempo yet, but another turnover for Towson. Looks like they were going for Kelly Williamson, and he fell down coming across the paint.
Yeah, I'm sure Terry Truax would like a foul there, but I didn't see much contact.
Now we're in UMBC. Here comes Mike Mundy up court.
Let's talk about this crowd for a minute, Mike. This is a very large crowd. From what I understand, it's the biggest crowd in UMBC history.
The Fieldhouse here at UMBC holds about 4,000, and if you'll allow me the grace of estimating the size of the crowd, I'd say we have about 3,000 here. And very vocal so far.
Mike, did you ever think about working for the fire marshal?
Not tonight, not in Catonsville.
Towson
Left
State
side.
now set in a zone.
Left side, Faust for 3. Dwayne Faust.
UMBC has some very good shooters. It's gonna. I think Towson State's pretty much better wise to play man-to-man defense.
Another turnover for Towson State. Devin Boyd controlled out top. It looked like Mike Mundy with his quick hands knocked the ball away.
Mundy's going to create a lot of activities. One of those players that when you put him in the game, he's going to make something happen. Now, sometimes that's not always going to be good. He's going to have some turnovers. He's going to run over a few people. But the way UMBC was playing, they needed some action.
Mundy, not a stranger to the Division I college basketball type of style. He is a transfer from the University of Massachusetts and joins Earl Hawkins' team, as does Earl Hawkins in his first year here at UMBC.
Earl Hawkins, if he has as much success as he had at Crossland High School, it'll be well, as we were just talking about, Mike Mundy runs over a guy. As I said, he's going to make things happen. And when your team's a little stale and shooting outside jumpers, as they were when Mundy came in the game, it's a good risk to take. I'll tell you what, if he has 5 fouls and showing that form of aggression, UMBC will be all right.
No problem with aggression, but when you're 5'11", I wouldn't be going after a 6'7" guy. He ran over John Bays for Towson that time. Here comes Devin Boyd for Towson, bringing the ball up court, left side. Bays out top of the key. Tries to work it inside. Lots of contact, but Kennell Jones isn't going to get the call, and Towson has their 3rd straight turnover.
But in that short stint, you see what Towson's trying to do with that offense. Get Bays the ball, let him pivot towards the basket. Then he has 2 options of 2 guys posting people up on the block. And it's sometimes it's a difficult pass to make, but if it's completed, it's usually a favorable matchup.
Mike Mundy, right side. Left side to Faust. He's working one-on-one, nothing there. He'll throw back out top to France. Simmons. That Towson State defense really extended that time, Billy. And here they come on the break. Devin Boyd, he's going to take it one. And Simmons will retaliate. Here he comes. Left side Faust. Faust from 15. No good. And Bays just takes it right off the head of Larry Simmons. Up quickly. Here's Boyd. Throws something up. I don't know. It couldn't have been a shot because it didn't hit the rim.
Mike, I think they will count it as a shot, though.
There's going to be a foul called there. That foul go against Jamel Spencer. His first. Spencer just entering the game.
This game's a little sloppy right now, Mike. I'm really surprised that Larry Simmons, a great of a scorer as he has only taken one shot in the first 8 minutes.
They're going to have to get Simmons more involved in the game, as will their other shooting guards, trying to open it up inside because Towson is really extended to the outside, and I think they're very conscious of Simmons and his three-point ability. Top of the key, Boyd.
This is the first look of a zone that UMBC has shown, and they get what they want, a bad-looking shot from Kurk Lee.
It seems like Towson's guards have decided to take it inside, but it looks like they've thrown up a few unbalanced shots. Not too good.
If you looked at that play, you saw Mike Mundy make a nice drive, but he had Larry Simmons wide open standing at the three-point stripe. We were better advised, instead of making a nice, trying a tough move like he made, to go ahead and whip that ball outside and get Simmons involved in this game.
Wow. Top of the key, John Boyd, 6'7" center, shooting what almost was a three-pointer.
But did he mean to bank the ball?
Simmons driving to the basket. It looks like he's going to draw the blocking foul on Eric Boyd. Have to wait for the, now they're going to change that. Either that or I was wrong.
Larry Simmons is very frustrated right now. He's the type of player who has to be created for. He's a very good shooter, but when he tries to take the ball on his own, it's not going to be the best for him.
UMBC leading 11-10 with a little over 11 minutes left in this first half. Neither team able to establish a tempo, or maybe they've established too much of a tempo because they both seem a little bit out of control right now. Top of the key, Jones to Boyd, back to Lee.
Okay, here comes the big guy, Bays. They cut him off, but there's the pass, and that's the offense as it works.
Run perfectly to Kurk Lee, who got the easy layup.
Very nice pass by Dwayne Martin.
Mike Mundy controlling up top for UMBC. Take it right side to Simmons. Simmons to Spencer, back to Simmons.
Nice pump fake.
Three-pointer, it's good.
That's a nice shot by Larry Simmons. That three-pointer puts him in the top 10 in all-time UMBC scores, and it should get him off the ground. They should really look for him a little more. I'll tell you, part of being a point guard, Mike, is really understanding your talent, understanding that one of your best players is Simmons from the outside, and to try to get him the ball.
Third offensive rebound, and Lee puts it in. They're going to count that shot, and I think they're going to get Spencer on that foul.
I'll tell you what, Kurk Lee is doing a yeoman's job. He's undersized. Not only is he scoring from the outside, he's made a couple nice moves from the inside, and there's a rebound basket.
Lee's going to go to the line for one shot. Score tied 14-all. We're about halfway through the first half, and Billy, 28 points between two teams just isn't a lot of scoring.
Kurk Lee's got his 7th point, though, and it's going to take hot scores like that. It's the beginning of a game. It's a big rivalry, the Battle of Baltimore, as we called it, and it's going to be a lot of nerves. I expect a much more smooth second half. What a horrible play that was.
Mundy goes up for the shot, but he's fouled by Boyd. They're going to give him 2 on that. I don't know.
That's something Boyd's going to learn. When you get a player making a bad shot, the old saying is you never foul a jump shooter. And what he was is not only a jump shooter, but he was a jump shooter shooting out of control. And Devin Boyd did him the biggest favor in the world by putting him on the foul line for 2 shots.
Well, let's talk about this UMBC team for a minute. Earl Hawkins.
He's given a lot of time early to this Mike Mundy. Mike Mundy is playing point guard for him, and he seems to have sat down Levi Franklin. What they need to do is, with the absence of Reynolds, who has 2 fouls, like we expect to see him probably with about 6 minutes to go in the half, they've got to establish their perimeter game. The bigger guys have got to be set up a little more, but Mundy has got to take the responsibility of distributing the ball more. He's trying to do too much on his own.
Well, we talked about the things that Towson State was going to try to do, run up and down the court, use some of their athletic ability against UMBC. But as of yet, they haven't established a team that's more dominant yet. Does that play to UMBC's favor, or do you think it plays to Towson's favor that this game is a little bit sloppy?
Well, Towson is a team that's in search of itself because it's got a lot of new performers. Kurk is obviously going to be one of their better scorers, and we're seeing that early. But he wasn't on the team last year. So it's a team looking for identity, and I think they'll find it in Devin, Boyd, and Kurk Lee.
Mike Mundy's going to go to the line for 2 shots.
At the line is Mike Mundy.
So far, Mundy has been at the line 1 time. That was his 2nd attempt. He's 0 for 2 this year. This will be Mundy's 2nd of 2. And it rolls in. We have a tie score with 10 minutes left in the game, 15-15.
It's a really nice matchup. Devin Boyd and Mike Mundy, 2 very quick guards.
Bays at the top. Stolen away by Mundy with an assist. Here he comes. He pulls up, stops off the glass. A little bit too hard, and Bays has a rebound. Outlet quickly to Williamson. And Kurk Lee's going to bring it back up.
He wisely holds it out there. Let's get into some offense for Towson State, they think. Nice pass.
Inside all alone. Oh, no good. Dwayne Martin blew the layup. What happened there, Billy?
Well, you know, I don't know how to describe the fact the guy was just open and he just missed a shot. Dwayne Martin's a very good player. He won't miss that shot too often this season, but I'm sure he's thinking about that a little bit. Let's see how he reacts defensively, though. A lot of times you come back and try to make a great play after that.
Left side, Franklin. Franklin has no chance to shoot. Williamson's all over him. Right side, Spencer in the lane. Ooh. He hasn't knocked away, but Faust is there for the rebound and the score.
The nice block, though, by Dwayne Martin trying to make the very big play to make up for his missed layup at the other end. Too bad the ball went into the other guy's hands.
Lee controlling on top. Finds Bays for the pull-up 10-footer.
Nice backdoor move by John Bays. When they're overplaying, you got to take advantage by going backdoor. But unfortunately, didn't make him pay for this mistake.
Rebound control by Jamel Spencer. Into Mundy, left side to Simmons for a 3-pointer. It's net. 2 3-pointers for Larry Simmons in the early going.
That was the best play Mike Mundy made all game. Very good penetration, got the ball up court quick, and found his primary 3-point shooter. If he does that, he'll be on the court all season long.
Left side, Kelly Williamson controlling for Towson. Driving left, nothing there. Levi Franklin all over him.
I'll tell you what, Towson State is having a very tough time with their entry pass to the high post.
Here comes UMBC. Right side to Mundy. Driving
there
to France for the 10-footer. Little hard off the rim.
But a great play, because that's where France likes the ball. He likes the ball in about the 10-foot area to hit his little jumper. And it was an open shot. And Mundy, you look at his eyes right now, and he's got the game where he wants it right now.
Rebound control by Towson is Dwayne Martin. Up court, Towson. Left side, Kelly Williamson. Back to Kurt Lee.
They're having trouble getting the ball on that elbow of the free throw line. That's where their entry pass is, and that's what triggers their offensive movement. And see how far, when you got to go out that far, it's really difficult.
Bays inside to Williamson. Williamson, good move on Franklin. Franklin wisely fouls him.
The offense, as we said, is triggered at the elbow. The further that UMBC can push that high post man out to catch the ball, the tougher it will be for Towson State to get what they want out of that offense.
Would that be part of the strategy in the design defense to cut off that first pass?
Well, sure. I'm sure in Earl Hawkins' scouting, he knows that offense. And he's explained the importance of cutting that pass off and to pushing that guy out. A lot of centers will allow their offensive counterpart to catch the ball there. But Earl Hawkins has told them that they don't have to be an offensive threat there. That's where they make their passes into the paint.
Kelly Williamson, 6'5" junior out of Baltimore, will be taking the free throws. His first one's up. Gets the home roll, even though he's the visiting team, and he makes the first one.
You know, Mike, when we first came into this gym today, I said to you, these rims seem very loose, like a shooter's rim. Then we asked Earl Hawkins about it. He said, no, that can be deceiving. Those rims look soft.
Those rims were very soft. Soft enough for those two to be good. There's a timeout on the floor. UMBC 20, Towson State 17. We'll be back right after this.
Once again, let me remind
There's a time to work, and there's a time to play, and there's
the ball.
It's going very fast, but I'll tell you what. Oh,
Jamel Hendrickson trying to drive inside, can't get it to fall. Up court quickly to Williamson, left side, 10-footer. No good. Off the hands of Cedric Island.
Cedric Island's a great story. He's from Nigeria. He originally came to Georgetown University, transferred last year, transferred over here to UMBC, played very sparingly last year, but they're very happy with his progress. He's 6'10". Anytime you have a guy 6'10", he's an imposing force.
Stephen Dorsey for Towson State with a strong move inside. 2019's our score. 7 minutes left in the first half.
UMBC is just shooting 6 for 21. It's 28%. Larry Simmons has 6 points, but the key to the game is that UMBC is winning 20-19 without Kenny Reynolds.
I have the feeling, Billy, that UMBC is starting to get back into the flow of this game. They seem to be working their offense a little bit more effectively. And let's talk about their offense. Earl Hawkins brought in the flex, and they changed from motion last year.
Well, the flex offense is one of the more difficult offenses for a team to adapt to. And obviously, it's taken his team a little while to do it. But I'll tell you what, if you would have told Earl Hawkins before the game that your team would be shooting 28% with 6 minutes to go in the first half, you would have had your best player, Kenny Reynolds, out for 10 minutes, and you'd be leading the game by 1 point. He'd probably think you were telling a fairy tale.
Well, the fairy tale's coming true for UMBC so far. They've won only 4 out of the 24 previous matchups against Towson State, which isn't such a great record, but the team's only played once in the last 10 years.
Well, I think that record's deceiving because UMBC just went Division I a few years ago, and a lot of that record came against a Division II squad and a club team actually for the first couple of years.
When we do the
UMBC losing their head coach, Jeff Bzdelik. Where do you see the UMBC program heading towards?
Oh, I see them just going straight upward. UMBC now has a great pool of talent, a very good coach. The only thing they lack is a conference affiliation. A conference affiliation would give them an NCAA berth or a chance at it and would really establish this program. Look at the fan support. They've got good players, they got fans, they've got a fine young coach. This program's going nowhere but up.
Mike Monday, top of the key. Fancy footwork, nothing. Right side, Levi Franklin. That's it. Billy, you called it all along. Mike Monday driving inside and bringing the defense in, leaving it totally outside for Levi Franklin and Simmons.
I'll tell you what, Mondy's proven tonight that he's a very good listener, because I'm sure after the first time out that Earl Hawkins sat and said, Monday, your job is to distribute the ball, and he's done that, and he's done that very well.
Inside, Stephen Dorsey is going to be called for traveling. He went up, but great defense underneath by UMBC. Force him to hold on to the ball.
I'm sure Stephen Dorsey felt he was fouled, but unfortunately the rules say that unless the whistle blows, you got to keep playing. And what he did is he came up and he came down with it, and that's a walk in any league.
Jeff Franklin up to Monday. Here comes Monday driving the middle again. That time the ball's knocked away, but evidently it left Monday's hands, and it's going to be Towson State's ball.
That's a turnover, but I'll tell you what Towson State needs to do. They need to really play better defense on Monday and sit and take a couple of charges on him, because he will fly into him. He's very quick. They've got to stay in front of him.
Kelly Williamson out top. UMBC really pushing the Towson State offense out. They're having trouble even getting into the offense. Williamson, pump fakes from 15. A little bit hard. Scramble for the ball underneath, and Williamson comes up with it. But finally, Jeff Reynolds grabs it, and here comes UMBC. Nice. Levi Franklin, he's going to set up in the offense. Right side, Jamel Spencer's fouled.
That entire transition was triggered there by a very fine rebound by Jeff Reynolds and a nice outlet pass to Levi Franklin. When you can get that kind of movement and get the ball out, play with numbers all night long, good things are going to happen for you.
Well, we talked about Towson State's running game, but before the game, we had a chance to talk to Earl Hawkins, and he indicated that UMBC would be running also.
He said they'd be running in controlled situations. He wasn't going to just let them fly up and down the court, but what he'd like to see is run on what are called opportunity breaks. When you have any kind of numbers, he'd like them to take advantage of it, but they're not going to just make a mindless push up the court with the ball.
Jamel Spencer converts on his first free throw. He's 80% from the line so far this season.
Not anymore, Mike. It's a young season. He's probably down to about 72%.
He had to make me look bad. Here comes Kurk Lee controlling for Towson. Left side, Muldrow. Alley-oop. A little bit too far for Lee, but Lee will take the 10-footer.
Nice tip in.
The tip in by Stephen Dorsey.
Stephen Dorsey's one of the co-captains of this team. And it's his role now to kind of settle them down and really have the discipline to get them in their offense.
Here comes Mike Mundy. Left side Faust. Back to Mundy. Back to Faust. Looks like they're trying to work Faust on the perimeter. He'll take the three-pointer. A little bit short. Maybe a little bit out of his range for Faust. Faust normally a three swing man.
I'll tell you, Mundy's really given them another dimension. When you set up your flex offense as they're setting it up, there's no design for a guy just to go one-on-one, but any coach will allow a great athlete to make moves. And there's a nice pass back
Williamson,
door.
Give and go to Lee, but Lee looks like he was fouled. Almost a three-point play there.
One of the oldest plays in basketball is you throw it into the center and you make the old scissors cut. That time it worked. It shows, you know, Mike, you can run all kinds of complicated offenses and you can sit and diagram plays till you're blue in the face, but the key is execution. If you can execute any play well, it'll be tough.
Kurk Lee will be going to the line. As we said, he'll shoot 2. Jim France for UMBC getting ready to check back in the game. Lee's first free throw is good.
Kenny Reynolds is sitting over there on the bench. I think he's really wondering when he's going to get to play again. A lot of coaches with 2 fouls hold a player out to the second half. I don't know if this is what Earl Hawkins' design is, but I think after sitting down for 10 minutes, I'd go ahead and let him sit for the rest of the half, especially if you can maintain a lead.
I think that's a good point, Billy. We're inside 4 minutes, and UMBC's definitely playing with Towson. That'll be a timeout in the court, but let's keep it right here and talk about the game so far. 24-23, I think it's almost what we expected, maybe a little bit lower scoring, but 2 teams going at each other with a lot of ferocity.
Well, UMBC's reacted very well to early foul trouble to Kenny Reynolds. When you have one great player as Kenny Reynolds is that leads your attack, you better be ready for him to have foul trouble because he will probably be attacked by almost every team he plays, and it's a really good education for Earl Hawkins' team to have to play without Kenny Reynolds, especially if they can maintain a lead in the first half.
UMBC has had excellent success, Billy, as we said, having Mike Mundy bring the ball down the court, doing some quick moves and tossing the ball outside. But I would think Terry Truax would put a stop to that very, very soon.
What they've done is they've spread the court for Mundy, given him a lot of room to operate, and he's now found the jump shooter standing at the three-point line. You mentioned earlier in the game a guy was straddling the line. Well, these guys are now getting behind the line. What Terry Truax's team needs to do is simply get in front of Mundy and not spread. What they're doing is they're converging on Mundy with 2 and 3 guys and leaving the one guy wide open. Mundy will go in the air, and a lot of times they're going in there and they're converging on him, leaving him an open man. What they got to do is have the discipline to stay with their men and let the one guy stay in front of him and guard him.
Towson State. Now here's that new NCAA rule that UMBC converts. The rule is the ball goes into play 55 seconds after the timeout's called. Well, and if your team isn't out there, the game starts without you. And this game started without Towson State that time.
Well, it takes a lot of pressure off the referees having to coddle the coaches and get them out of the timeouts. Now simply the coaches are going to have to pay for keeping their team in long.
And that time Terry Truax paid 2 points for that one. Lee at top. Very tough shot.
Kurk Lee has 8 points for Towson State, and it's Kurk Lee who's keeping them in the game. I'll tell you what, Towson State has a lot of work to do right now.
Another shooter back on the court for the Retrievers, Larry Simmons. Left side, Levi Franklin. Out top to Dwayne Faust.
Towson State now in a 2-3 zone. I guess they think this will cut off a lot of the penetration. But it's a 2-3 zone that they're really spreading wide. Really
Franklin
going after the wings.
Right side, Faust. 15 seconds on the shot clock.
What UMBC needs to do is exactly that. Get the ball in the middle of the zone and let the center turn around and find the open man.
Faust with a bad pass, and Towson State gets the steal. There comes Lee. Lee to Bays. Nothing doing. They're going to start the offense again. Kurt Lee controlling out top for the Tigers. Left side. Top to Williamson. Williamson works inside to Dorsey for the easy give-and-go layup.
That's exactly what Towson State wants. The entry pass wasn't open. So what Kurk Lee did was replaced his wingman and started the offense that way, and they got exactly what they wanted, the mismatch on the block.
Larry Simmons, right side to Dwayne Faust. Inside to France, turnaround 10-footer. But the follow by Jeff Reynolds. Great heads-up play by Jeff Reynolds, and UMBC has a 1-point lead. Bays had a jump shot from the top of the key, and somehow the rebound got fumbled around and turned the ball over.
And the referee way over here next to us made the call there. He has better eyes than I do if he saw that.
He must have eyes on that basket. I couldn't see it from this angle. Right side, Franklin, out top of the key to Simmons. Back to Franklin on the right side.
What they need to do, UMBC, is flash one of their big guys up to the middle of the paint to catch the ball. Right there, he's open.
Well, they have two big men who can shoot the ball. France and Franklin are both good shots. And that time, Faust contributes off the glass.
Tell you what, UMBC is showing right now that they have a lot of offensive weapons. Earl Hawkins is afforded the luxury of keeping Kenny Reynolds on the bench, and that's basically what it comes down to, because his team is holding its lead without Reynolds in the game.
Kurk Lee, star out of Dunbar High School for the Tigers. Top of the key to Bays. Lob pass into Williamson, powering it up. He just blew the layup. That time blocked by France, and here come the Tigers. Right side, Simmons to France at the foul line. No good. But there was Reynolds with the rebound, and he got clobbered by John Bays.
Very good call. Reynolds had the position. Bays went over his back and tried to take it from him. But I'll tell you what, France is playing inspired right now. A nice block on one end, came down, took the shot that he likes. It didn't go in, but he's doing a very good job backing up Reynolds right now.
It looks like the whole team is beginning to play as a team, Billy. They're doing a lot of different things, but one thing they're doing is looking for the pass, and they are finding the open man.
Well, what they're starting to do, Mike, is play within their roles. Larry Simmons is not a great penetrator. He's a great shooter, so he shoots the ball when he's open. Mundy is not a great shooter, but he's a very fine penetrator. And so when those two are doing what they're supposed to do, that team's going to be very successful. But when they go out of their roles, they're going to struggle.
Let's talk about the roles for a second as Jeff Reynolds attempts his second free throw. It's good. That was something that UMBC team last year really had two roles. They had one for Larry Simmons and one for Kenny Reynolds. But this year, it seems like the whole team's getting involved.
That's true, and when you can hit 8 for 10 from the foul line at 80%, you're going to be pretty successful.
Jimmy France getting tough inside. Here comes Simmons on the right side. Back to Reynolds. They're going to get him for the offensive foul. He came in just a little bit out of control down the lane that time, Billy.
That mistake has to go as much to Larry Simmons as to Jeff Reynolds, because Jeff Reynolds was streaming down the court very fast, and when you're 6'5" or taller, it's very tough to catch the ball in the full sprint and then do something with it.
And you don't expect to get the ball at the foul line either.
No, Larry Simmons, that's his mistake. A lot of coaches will tell their point guards, hey, he got the foul, but that's your mistake, and you get to sit down for it.
Left side, Williamson to Bays at the top. They really have John Bays playing out way out top of the high post there.
Well,
they probably like to move him a little bit more inside.
Well, when he's not open, he's got to go down and pick for the other guy and let him have a chance to catch the ball on that elbow.
Kennell Jones, almost stolen. Dorsey.
I'll tell you what I like this Stephen Dorsey. He really seems to be a team leader. He's trying to get the team in the offense. He's making smart plays when he gets the chance.
About 9,000 feet from the basket, Kurk Lee lets one fly.
Well, it was the end of the half, but I'll tell you what, Kurk Lee looked like his days at Dunbar where he could just put it up from anywhere.
A 27-point scorer, Kurk Lee was at Dunbar, and he's found a new role as the point guard for the Towson Tigers. At 32, you're not going to win a game, especially on the road, shooting 32%.
Well, I'd be interested to see what Terry Truax had to say to his team at halftime. He knows that not only is he going to have to play the same UMBC team, but a team that now features Kenny Reynolds. He's got 2 fouls. If I was Towson State, I'd go right at him right now. Not the 3 fouls will put him out of the game, but I'd like him thinking about his foul problems the rest of the game.
It'll be Towson State inbounding the ball. And let's set the matchups. We have John Bays, Kurk Lee, Kelly Williamson, Stephen Dorsey, and Eric Boyd.
UMBC with a little surprise opening up in a 1-3-1 trap. They didn't show it at all in the first half. A lot of coaches will hold that until the second half, where the coach on the other side won't have as much time to talk to his team about it. Let's see how Towson reacts.
Left side, Boyd over to Bays. Trying to get it inside to Dorsey, and they do. Looked like Dorsey walked with the ball, but not before he scored 2 inside.
What Dorsey did was very good. He caught the ball, came down with great body control, and made the basket. There was a guy right behind him waiting to fall down for the charge, but Dorsey avoided that.
Simmons to Faust at the top of the key. UMBC starts with the 2 shooters, Levi Franklin and Larry Simmons. Faust on the left side.
Okay, there's the open cutter in the flex. We talked about that earlier. That's what they're looking at. Now they're out of the offense, and Kenny Reynolds makes a nice pass.
Inside to Dwayne Faust for 2.
It's pretty tough when your high scorer stands up at 10 feet and passes the ball. He becomes a double threat then.
Kenny Reynolds, of course, back in for UMBC. We'll probably see UMBC going inside a little bit better. They're going to call the foul, I believe, on Jeff Reynolds. And for Reynolds, that'll be his 3rd personal foul.
I'm not sure, did they call a foul on Reynolds or Larry Simmons on them? Jeff Reynolds gets the foul. But they could have called on either guy. What they were doing was trying to block the shot. The player, Devin Boyd, was coming down the lane, made a nice move, but he was a little out of control trying to make a shot. They should have just let him alone.
Boyd's first free throw's on the way, and it's no good. Boyd had 2 points in the first half. Talk about cold shooting. He was 1 for 5. Couldn't get the rhythm, but he did a lot of good things defensively. Boyd hammers the second one home, and Towson trails by 4, 34-30. Just underway in the second half. Larry Simmons up top for UMBC. Left side to Franklin. Franklin low post to Reynolds. Turnaround, little bit hard. Looked like Reynolds lost the ball on the way up there, Billy.
Well, I'll tell you what, Reynolds has got to make his shots and then let it go. He cannot be so aggressive going at the rebounds right now on his missed shots. He can't pick up silly fouls. He's got to get himself in the game. Just play normally, but don't do anything ridiculous.
Tough man-to-man defense by UMBC. Wow, Kurt Lee throws up a trash shot, but it counts just the same as a set shot, 2 points.
Terry Truex is over on the sideline saying, that's the way I coached it in practice yesterday.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what he's saying. Dwayne Faust inside, no good. Battle for the rebound, who's gonna win it?
I'll tell you what, Faust is doing a great job for UMBC. He's 3 for 5 from the field. He has 7 points. He's tied as the leading scorer with Levi Franklin, but it's players like Faust and Franklin that have given, here we go, a little problem. I don't know if our cameras picked that up, between Levi Franklin and Stephen Dorsey. Little shoving match. It's going to happen in a local rivalry. A lot of these guys, Mike, play against each other in summer leagues, so they're very familiar with one another.
And a few of these players from the Baltimore area. Towson State and UMBC are generally rivals in recruiting, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, definitely rivals in recruiting, and it's funny because both programs have really stepped it up a notch. And now, although Baltimore has always been known as a high school hotbed of talent, not a collegiate hotbed of talent, Terry Truex is wondering who his guys are fouling and why they're putting them on guys like Jeff Reynolds on the foul line where it's easy to score.
Well, shooting less than 30%, I think that would give any head coach a headache.
Well, shooting less than 30% has got to be a great part of the responsibility for Kurk Lee. He's got 13 points, but he's 5 for 13 from the field.
Jeff Reynolds converts on his first free throw. UMBC up by 3. He'll have one more. And the second one's on the way. Nothing but net for Jeff Reynolds.
Reynolds is a perennial 75% foul shooter.
Doesn't get too much better than that, especially for a big man. Boyd out top for Towson. Drives the lane, finds a hole, but looks like they're going to get a foul. Levi Franklin doesn't agree with that one, but I don't think it makes any difference.
I'll tell you what, Devin Boyd's going to have a very fine career at Towson State. He's the kind of player who's going to put a lot of pressure on the defenders. And here we go, a lot of talking going on between the two players, Levi Franklin and Devin Boyd. And Devin Boyd is being the more mature player and just playing his game.
That's true. That's what the taunt's used for. You get Franklin out of his game, shake him up a little bit, and he loses that outside jag. Lee to Boyd.
Once again, UMBC showing another, that spread out zone that they'll show.
I think that might be an inside foul on Kenny Reynolds.
Oh, wow.
He and Dorsey were battling it out, and they're going to get Reynolds for a hold. That'll be Reynolds' third foul.
And they're going, and I'll tell you what, Earl Hawkins went right after him. I'll tell you, he's got a tough choice there. Take him out with 3 fouls and let him sit for a couple minutes, or let him play through it because the guy's cold. He sat out for the last 12 minutes of the first half. And as you see Coach Hawkins over there trying to talk to him and saying, hey, sit down for a couple minutes, I'll get you back, get a cooler head.
Boyd from downtown. That was just about an NBA three-pointer there, Billy.
I'll tell you what, that's all Devin Boyd needs, a little confidence in his shooting. And they're really going at it now.
Faust on the right side. Drives the lane. Looks like he got through, but before that, he was fouled by Kelly Williamson.
what UMBC's offense is designed to do is catch cutters underneath. But as they spread Towson State out, it'll also give the players from the wings an opportunity to drive. Faust had that opportunity there and took advantage of it. That's just as much a part of the offense as the design plays.
Franklin's inbound pass looks like it was knocked away by Kelly Williamson. They'll reset and throw it in from the side.
There's an old saying, you got to take what the defense gives you. And UMBC seems to be doing a much better job of that than Towson tonight.
Larry Simmons, left side to Reynolds. We said Jeff Reynolds and Kenny Reynolds, two senior brothers. But Kenny's spending more time on the bench tonight. But you won't find that happen too many times. Up court, here comes Boyd, driving lane against Simmons. He takes it in. France gave him no chance of getting that shot off, but he also mugged him on the way up.
Towson State's finding real rhythm now at the hands of Devin Boyd. UMBC at the other end has started this half the way they started the last half. Out of sync a little bit. They need to find where their scores are going to be. They need to get the ball in Larry Simmons' hand, an opportunity to score, and get the ball inside to Faust and let Franklin shoot the jumpers. I tell you what, it won't be long till we see Mike Monday, and there he is.
Monday just checked in. He replaced Franklin. Well, the soft rim was not kind that time to Devin Boyd. He didn't find the roll. What he did find were hostile fraternity and sorority members behind the basket waving at him.
A lot of Greek life up there, Mike, a lot of Greeks.
His second one falls through, and our game's tied at 36. 16:35 remaining in the second half of this game contest. Here comes Mike Monday driving the lane. Out to Simmons for a three. Little bit hard, but Jeff Reynolds has the offensive rebound. They should probably re-stack. Reynolds' fancy bounce pass goes off the feet of John Bays.
I think he was trying a behind-the-back entry pass to the postman. A pass you'll find a lot at summer camps. They teach that a lot, Mike. It's something that a lot of young players should work on.
Dwayne Faust at the top. He feeds Simmons for a three. Simmons having a little bit of trouble finding the three-point, but Dwayne Faust was there for the offensive rebound. Outlet pass a little bit long for Dorsey, who keeps it in. And Simmons picks it up. He was mugged by John Bays, but no call. No blood, no foul. The ball goes out to Towson State.
Mike, a lot of action on that play. I guess the referee said, hey, just let it go. On the other end of the court, you see Larry Simmons missing a couple jumpers. He's the kind of player who needs to shoot the ball a lot. He's a streak shooter. So if he shoots the ball and misses a couple, that's okay. And now we got guys getting right up in your face.
Well, Devin Boyd's been going after people all night long. No surprise who's in the middle of that one. Devin Boyd again going right after Jeff Franklin, and he better check the roster because Franklin has about 50 pounds on him and about 5 inches.
Well, I tell you, it's hard to say who instigates what and that kind of thing. But he's a young player. It's his first night out of the box, and either he's going to be a little rattled, or the other team's going to go take advantage of the fact that he's a freshman. Earl Hawkins and Terry Truex definitely want their teams to calm down. I think a timeout would be well in place right now. Isn't this a time where we have one of those convenient TV timeouts, Mike? I tell you,
I'm sure the referees would like to take one now. We're just about to.
Here's the story in the second half right here, Mike. Towson State is 3 for 4 for 75%. UMBC shot the ball 10 times, but only connected on 2. They're 2 for 10.
Offensive against Devin Boyd, no question about it. Using the chicken wing to push off.
That move will work on a lot of playgrounds, but it won't work here in college at the Division I level, especially when the referees are going to try to take control of the game now. I look for a lot of touch fouls to be called. This is not the time I put Kenny Reynolds in the game, and I don't see any sign of him coming in right now.
No, but it's a good time for a timeout like we've been talking about. And they're going to call a timeout with 15:50 left in the second half. We're all tied up here in Catonsville. UMBC 36, Towson State 36. We'll be back right after this.
There's a time to work, and there's a time to play.
Eric Boyd inbound the ball to Monday. Monday being pressured by Lee, who's tried to draw the foul and did a great job there, Billy.
Well, he puts the referee in a position by actually tripping the other guy into himself that he has to make a call. and Kurk picks up the foul. And let's talk about fouls right now. Devin Boyd has 3 fouls for Towson State. The young freshman, Truax elects to go with him now. Probably a pretty good move. But both Reynolds now have 3 fouls, and they both sit on the bench, both Kenny and Jeff.
Monday, top of the key. Right side to Simmons. Simmons for 3. No good. He hasn't been able to find the mark in the second half here.
But give credit to Earl Hawkins for designing a play at the timeout to give Simmons an open shot like that.
Simmons steals the ball right away from Lee, and here it comes for the layup. Too hard off the glass. Bays has the rebound. Good play there by Larry Simmons. He came in a little bit too hard, though.
Basketball practice starts on October 15th, and I doubt Larry Simmons has missed this many shots in all of those practices.
Very good point. Stephen Dorsey had a hard time getting the handle on the ball, and he dribbled it off his foot. UMBC will control. Mike Monday bringing the ball up the court. Bringing it up slow, a change for Mr. Monday.
Well, I'll tell you, with all the excitement around, I'll tell you, a lot of people have to be winded out there. Conditioning could play a key, and that's exactly what he doesn't want to do.
That's not his shot. He forced a shot there. Here comes Boyd driving. Boyd top of the key, right side. Driving in, it looks like the foul's going to take place before. Almost took down the referee. Is that a double foul if you take down the referee, Billy?
No, but I'll tell you what, they're giving him a lesson right now. Jim France fouled Devin Boyd, but he fouled him very hard. If you're going to foul a player going inside, coaches will tell you, they're not going to say it on TV, but foul a player hard.
And the dialogue continues between UMBC and Boyd. Is that a strategy for a player? Do some players use that to try to take the other team out of sync?
I guess some players would consider it a strategy. Most coaches find it very stupid.
John Bay shoots an air ball from 15, and UMBC retains possession. Jamel Spencer inside. Couldn't convert on the shot, but he was fouled. He's going to go to the line for 2.
Spencer, another talented player that hasn't seen much time tonight.
Stephen Dorsey called for that foul. That'll be Dorsey's 2nd foul, I believe. His 3rd foul.
I'll tell you what, I still do like that Stephen Dorsey. He seems to really, at the center position, play that leadership role that Truax needs. A lot of Truax's talent is with younger players. And when you have that, you have a tendency to lose track of the game. And Dorsey's at the other end trying to shout his younger players into position.
Well, Spencer's 2nd shot is good. He makes both of those, and UMBC takes a 2-point lead, 38-36, with 14 minutes remaining in this second half. Let's talk about Towson State for a second. Terry Truax is 6th year at Towson, but most of his teams are used to running the half-court game. This Towson State seems to be a little bit more athletically oriented and running more of a quick set offense.
Kelly Williams just got his re-inauguration in Division I basketball. He's another one of those transfers. Got the shot blocked, but you know what? The ball goes right back to Towson State, and what coaches will tell you to do is now do the same thing, because the UMBC guys are looking to block the shot, and now they'll foul.
France, after shooting an air ball, goes right back after it. Ball's loose on the floor, and here come the UMBC Retrievers. Left side, Monday for a 10-footer. It's good. Mike Monday hitting a tough jumper on the run, and Retrievers have a 4-point lead. Quickly up the court, Lee makes the layup. They're going to call it offensive, and Lee can't believe it. Frankly, Billy, I'm not sure I can believe it either.
Well, Mike, let's just suffice it to say that it's a difficult job to be a referee, and you're not always going to make the right call.
That's true.
And I'm going to run for a political office here next year.
I think you probably could. At least the referees would elect you, Billy. They're going to call Kurt Lee for bringing his arm and deflecting Monday away from the ball. That'll be an offensive foul, and the basket will not count. UMBC retains a 4-point lead, 40-36.
That's Lee's 2nd foul, so he's still not in that danger zone.
Simmons drives the lane, running one-hander. No good. Knocked away from Spencer, knocked away from Faust, but UMBC retains possession.
Larry Simmons is having a difficult night. His shots aren't falling, but what he should not resort to making shots that are out of his character. His strength is not driving and making one-handed throw shots. He's a very good perimeter shooter, and he should stick with that. Look at him wide open. They should skip the ball to him.
Fouls from 23, no good. Here comes Boyd up the right side to Lee, driving against, he was driving against Dwayne Faust. Faust made the mistake there of leaving his feet because it looked like Lee was out of control.
Kurk Lee certainly was out of control, and Faust did him a favor. But after that last call, Faust may have thought he could get a charge making that play.
Kurk Lee is going to go to the line for 2. A little over 13 minutes remaining in the second half. And both teams moving up and down the floor quickly. Neither one exactly using it effectively, Billy, but we're seeing a quicker tempo than we did in the first half.
You saw over there Earl Hawkins embracing Dwayne Faust, trying to explain to him, hey, look, that wasn't a good play. Get yourself a minute of rest, come back in the game and play successful for me. I need you tonight. I don't have Kenny Reynolds in the game. He's got no points. And can you believe with no points, they're still winning the game by 3? Kurk Lee knocks down his 15th point.
Lee's second shot is good. He cuts the lead to 2. UMBC 40, Towson State 38.
Kennell Jones checks in now for the Tigers.
Here comes Mike Mundy. Left side to Simmons. Nothing inside. Right side, Franklin. Franklin can shoot the jumper when he's open too. There goes Simmons driving inside. They're going to call it a charge. Will the basket count? No, it won't. They're going to wave the basket off.
Very good call. The rule on that is, has he released the ball when he ran into the other player? And in that case, it was obviously the contact occurred before Simmons released the ball. The charge occurs. There's no basket because the shot never counts.
Well, we said it before. Larry Simmons, an excellent perimeter shot. He doesn't need to drive the ball inside. He's got his big men inside to do that for him. That time it cost him a possession and a foul.
Towson State staying up with Devin Boyd. I'm sure they're going to look with Kurk Lee, who has 15.
What a matchup that is inside. Devin Boyd and Mike Mundy, 2 of the quickest players you'll see in Division I going against each other. That time, Jamel Spencer picked up the foul. It's going to be his 3rd.
Mike, I don't know if it's my imagination, but the longer the game goes, the closer it comes to its end, the more referees we get in the fans. I mean, I'll tell you what, that was a questionable call, but the fans right now are trying to really influence these refs.
When you have a partisan crowd like here at UMBC, does it make a difference? Do referees make a good call and hear the crowd and feel good and maybe subconsciously?
Well, I don't think so. I think they're so well trained into the fact that they're going to be in home environments, and most of these referees are experienced gentlemen. They've been in the ACC and the Big East. That a crowd, even though this is a very good crowd, will not affect them. But I'll tell you what, both coaches have got to explain their team. They can't be worried about what the referees are doing. They've just got to play their game. And some calls can go your way and some aren't. But they've got bigger responsibilities at hand to try to run their patterns. And right now, you see Towson State having a greater amount of success than UMBC.
40-38 is our score. UMBC with a 2-point lead. A little under 13 minutes remain in this game, and both teams going at each other. Billy, I guess a war would be a good description of this one.
Well, I think it's a testament to what both schools how far they've come in their programs. Look at UMBC President Dr. Hooker, we featured at halftime. It's so important when a president of the university is committed to his athletic program. It's that kind of commitment which produces big crowds and successful programs. Hats off to Dr. Hooker for doing what he's done for UMBC and emphasizing athletics. You know, picking up a very strong coach in Earl Hawkins. This program's going further, and I'm sure that we'll see them in a conference within a couple weeks, Mike.
Some talk about UMBC joining the ECC, another good conference. In fact, Towson State's also a member. 40-40 is our score, all tied up. Left side, Simmons. Top to Mundy. Right side, Franklin. Simmons trying to do something. Devin Boyd's right on top of him, and I think that's going to be Boyd's 4th foul.
It sure is. I'll tell you, take risks when you leave players in foul trouble. And that time, the 4th foul occurred on Devin Boyd, and he's going to have to play without him for at least 5 minutes. What they'll do now is Kurk Lee will have to assume the responsibilities of handling the ball. Now, that's not too good because Kurk Lee's their big scorer right now. He's got 15 points and he leads them.
Mike Moran checks up into the Towson State lineup. As Simmons takes his first shot. High arc shot, but it counts.
Simmons isn't going to miss too many free throws. He's an 80% career foul shooter. Those guys from Indiana usually are. I think it's a thing. You're born in Indiana and you could shoot the basketball.
I think it's part of the requirement to graduate from high school is that you shoot 70% from the foul line. Excellent
Nice.
give and go. And Kelly Williamson ends it with 2 points. .12:15 remain in this game. All locked up at 42.
We're going to see what kind of defensive player Kurk Lee has now, because Mike Mundy sees him on him, and he's going to try to penetrate against him. I can promise. There he goes.
Mike Mundy, 12-footer. No good, but France is there with the rebound. And nothing doing. France again. Great. Made that one count. The third one's a jewel, and France is going to go to the line for 1.
Great job by Jim France. He didn't get flustered after he missed that first chance. Came right after the boards, made the strong rebound, and went up strong. Hey, he's going to get a chance for a 3-point play, and France has 10 points now, and he leads UMBC in scoring.
France, a 6'9" sophomore from Connellsville, Pennsylvania. Had an expanded role in this game. Billy generally sees about 10 minutes a game, but because of Kenny Reynolds' foul situation, he's seen a little bit of action and responded very well on the boards tonight.
Well, from what we saw of Jim France, we didn't think he was a kind of player who'd really attack the boards. He's really having a fine effort here tonight. Ooh.
Kelly Williamson gets the ball up quick for Towson, and he's fouled by France.
You just sit and praise the guy, and he's done a great job tonight. And then he goes down, and he's 6'9". He doesn't have to always leave his feet. He leaves his feet, puts himself in poor body position, and the smart Kelly Williamson takes advantage of it, jumps into him, and that's France's foul.
Williamson's going to go to the line for 2. His first shot is good. 44-43. And Williamson will have one more. Jeff Reynolds checks into the game for Jim France. With about 12 minutes to go, Billy, I'd expect to see Kenny Reynolds back in the game very soon.
You know, Mike, you can't wait much longer. In this half, though, the Towson State Tigers are shooting 33%, but that's a great mark compared to UMBC's 17%.
Unbelievable. 17%, they're going to have to do a little bit better than that. We're all tied up here, 44-44. 11:52 left in the first half, and maybe it'll be the last possession, Billy, that wins this game. Neither team seeming to take the bull by the horns and go with it.
I think we're going to see Kenny Reynolds coming back into the game very shortly. He's got 3 fouls, but they haven't gotten anything out of him anyway. You might as well let the guy come in with 12 minutes to go and play it out. It's not like he's going to come in at the end of the game and win this game for him. He hasn't had a point. The other players are doing a fine job, but they need Kenny Reynolds now to put him over the hump. The game is tied. They're shooting miserably. They need a change. They need to put Kenny Reynolds in right now.
Make a great point. Kenny Reynolds averaging this year at least 13 points. He was up close to 20 points last season, but really hasn't been a factor. I'm not even sure if he would have been playing if he would have been a factor in the game. He's played 10 minutes, but in those minutes, he's only got 1 shot off.
If we take a look at the bench over there at a break, you see how far out of the game Kenny Reynolds is. He's not even at the head of the bench with the coach and getting involved in the game. He's the second to last person sitting on that bench. He's not even into the game mentally or physically right now. You know, the guy's an All-American preseason candidate, and he's completely out of this game.
Franklin from 3-point range, no good. Rebound, Kennell Jones. Up court quickly. Great athletic play by Levi Franklin, but it's all for naught. Towson State will retain possession.
And here we go. Here comes Kenny Reynolds off the end of the bench. And with 11:25 to go, Earl Hawkins is playing his trump card.
What do you say to Kenny when you put him back in?
Kenny, let's get physical. Might as well just go ahead and play. I mean, you've gotten 3 fouls and 1 rebound tonight. You might as well just go after it and see what happens.
And pull out all the stops. Kurt Lee from 3, no good. Towson State retains possession on a great play by Dwayne Martin. Left side Lee.
Like that almost hit me in the head.
Larry Simmons, great play, bounced it off the ceiling, almost on top of Billy Stone. Can you hit the 3-pointer from here, Billy?
Mike, where I sat on the bench in college, I'm pretty close.
Billy, an ex-player for American University and head tap Scott, who looking for a banner year this year down there, aren't they?
Oh, they've got a lot of horses. For a change, he's got some real athletes to coach.
Boyd, top of the key. Right side, Williamson. It's short. Here comes Monday. Retrievers bringing it up quick. Left side, Monday. Drives right. Throws up the running two-hander. No good. Not a good shot.
Monday was successful when he was driving and finding his open man. And now you've seen him drive like 3 times straight and miss that shot. That's what he did in the beginning of the first half. But then he changed and had that great last 10 minutes. Okay, Kurk is handling the ball now for Towson State. And Towson State needs to now get in some offense. What they got to do is now UMBC's in that zone. Find the guy at the top right there, pass him the ball, and work from there.
Williamson looking inside at Dorsey. He's covered. Back out top to Boyd.
Your big guy splash in the middle. There's the pass, and let him operate. Stephen Dorsey.
No box out, no nothing. Dwayne Martin goes in for the easy 2. I'm sure Earl Hawkins is livid over that one.
Well, one of the trade-offs when you go to a zone is each player is not assigned a man to box out. And that time, you saw the Towson player just go right through, get himself positioned.
Left side, Levi Franklin. Out top to Monday. Monday dribbled the ball over, trying to get in their half-court offense. Monday to Franklin. Back to Monday. Corner to Franklin. Simmons from long range. That's 3. Three-pointer, Larry Simmons.
There's only so many shots that Larry Simmons will miss in a night, and we may have seen the last he'll miss, because he looked good on that.
Dorsey, strong power move inside.
I'll tell you what I do like, that Stephen Dorsey. Missed the shot the last time down the court, but it was out of the offense, and that time he just took it strong.
Mike Monday bring the ball up court. Jim France getting ready to check in for the UMBC Retrievers. Franklin double pumps. It looks like he was fouled by Heidler.
I'll tell you what, for about 2 minutes now, we've had Kenny Reynolds in the game, and he's pretty much been quiet, hasn't he?
Haven't heard a thing out of him. In fact, that's the first shot he's made.
I'll tell you, Mike, we prepare all these things to say about Kenny Reynolds. He's not giving us a chance to do it.
45, Mike Boyd, he's first.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's Kenny Reynolds going to the foul line. They gave him the rebound foul there. He'll have his chance to make his first point of the night.
Been a long time coming, but there it is. Kenny Reynolds with the free throw, and at a crucial time. Game's tied at 48. He'll have a chance to break that tie with this shot. Kenny Reynolds averaging 13 points this year so far, although they've only played 1 game. That was a 61-47 win over Northern Arizona.
It's been a long time since UMBC was 2-0. And I'll tell you what, Earl Hawkins is very fortunate tonight.
There it is again. Kurk Lee with the chicken wing, as it's called. Good acting job by UMBC, and he picks up the offensive foul.
Kurk Lee, the Baltimore area player of the year in 1985 in high school, commits his 3rd foul. I'll tell you what, with Monday on the foul, with Devin Boyd on the bench with 4 fouls, they can't afford to have Kurk Lee pick his up.
Monday left side, he takes
fouled.
it right in against Bays.
Bays fouled him, it looked like. Pretty good drive by Monday, creating the foul, but it wasn't called.
Lee brings the ball up slowly for Towson. Tie score with 8.5 minutes remaining. This will probably go right down to the wire.
UMBC back into the man-to-man. Let's see if Towson can get their offense run now.
Here, Williamson inside, finds Kennell Jones, pinned by Kenny Reynolds. Excellent defensive play. UMBC back up quickly. Here comes Simmons, left side. And he's fouled. I think that was a frustration foul on the part of Kennell Jones, who had his shot blocked down at the other end.
That sure is. That's a tough foul on Kennell Jones. I'm looking at Kenny Reynolds. He's just starting now to sweat. And good players like that really need to get a rhythm. And I'll tell you what, a block like that, a couple free throws at the other end, they should really now concentrate on getting the ball into Kenny Reynolds. Get him a couple shots. If he misses them, he misses them, but they're going to need him down the stretch.
At the line, number 5, Larry Simmons. As we said, he's shooting 80%, so you might as well count these 2 good. Bye, see? Never say that. Never say that.
Mike, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to ever take you to Atlantic City with
These
me.
guys are set on making me look bad tonight. Kurk Lee up at the other end for Towson. Williamson up top to Dorsey.
Mike, I just don't think you'll get a job as an astrologist.
I think we're all happy to hear that.
Another forced shot by Kurk.
Here comes Mundy up quick to Simmons for three. Short. Rebound. Dwayne Faust. He moves inside. He's raped, but no call. Up quickly, Kennell Jones for two. Towson State takes a 2-point lead.
Towson State is very fortunate Larry Simmons is not having an open night, because a good night, because he's certainly getting his opportunities to make those 3-pointers.
Mike Mundy setting the offense for UMBC. He drives, running 10-footer, no good, but tip in by Dwayne Faust.
Dwayne Faust is doing a very good job. That's his 9th point. He's 4 of 6, and it's guys like Dwayne Faust that are really cleaning up.
He's picked up a lot of the slack where Reynolds has left off.
Well, Mundy keeps going with those drives, and I guess if guys like Faust know that he's going to shoot the ball, they can get themselves in rebounding position.
Excellent block by... Excellent block there by Jim France, but Simmons dribbles it off his foot.
Hey, Simmons dribbled the ball off his foot, Mike, but he did the right thing. Hey, there's nothing to do about it. He just got right back. He's a seasoned veteran as a junior.
Those kind of blocks are just exactly what they might need to get themselves going. So with 6:50 left in the second half, and the score tied at 50, we'll be back right after this.
You know what one of Maryland's best-kept secrets is? It's going down to Ocean City all season. The fresh air, ocean breeze, make it a perfect place for an afternoon or a weekend. And the drive down here is half the fun. There's so much to see along the way. So what are you waiting for? Summer? Do something different. Come on down the ocean this season.
You know, this is really the greatest.
Fox, the Chevrolet Auto and Truck Discount Center.
Because I was pleased with the service from the first time I bought my car.
Fox, and only Fox.
Because I've checked around every place else.
Discount that made my payment just what I wanted.
Fox was the best choice I had.
I'm very happy with Fox.
And they have like millions of Novas all over the place.
And I've been around.
Fox, the Chevrolet Auto and Truck Discount Center. Now 3 locations, Security, Timonium, and Laurel.
We return now to UMBC where the score tied. A little under 7 minutes remain here, and both teams 50-50. Towson State inbounds the ball. Kurt Lee driving against Mundy. Stride for stride up the left side. Williamson back to Mundy.
I'll tell you what, you've seen a really good game by Jim France guarding John Bays right now. Oh,
alley-oop, no good. Faust comes out with a steal for UMBC, driving the left side. He'll hold it up and look for a guard. Back to France. France left side to Simmons. Inside to Faust.
That's the way to play.
Back inside to Faust, and Kelly Williamson's going to pick up the foul there for a push-off.
And Towson's over the limit, so every foul will mean a 1 in the bonus opportunity for UMBC. But that's exactly what UMBC wants to do: isolate Larry Simmons and a strong inside player and play 2-on-2 basketball right now.
Dwayne Faust to go for the line. 1-and-1. No good, but Kenny Reynolds powers inside, back to Faust for the 10-footer. No good. France with the follow. It's good. They worked for that one. They deserve 4 on that series.
Hey, Jim France is doing a great job on the offensive boards. At the defensive end, he's got 4 blocked shots. Jim France making a strong bid to be player of the game tonight.
Bays top of the key. Right side Williamson. Corner. Corner to Boyd, and Boyd was singing offensive foul again. You can see it written all over his face, but they're going to call it on Mundy instead, blocking.
Devin Boyd gave a sigh of relief because his night almost ended. He has 4 fouls, and they're just laying for him to commit a 5th. Boyd's got 4. Kelly Williamson, Stephen Dorsey, and Kurk Lee all have 3. But it's Devin Boyd, the one that really has got to watch himself for the next couple minutes. They can't afford to lose him with 6 minutes to go, because as you get late in the game, you need ball handlers.
Devin Boyd has 4 fouls so far. He's heading to the line. No good, off the back of the glass, and rebound. Kenny Reynolds. Here come the retrievers. Left side Faust.
Well, it's anybody's game to win, obviously, and both teams are giving each other ample opportunity by missing foul shots.
Right side, Simmons. Out top to Mundy. He drives the left side. Back to France. He wasn't expecting that pass, and that's not where the guard should be. Here comes Williamson. Showtime. 2 points.
A small show. The big points counted, though.
I was hoping for a jam or something.
The disappointing layup gets Towson State tied. I think Terry Truex is quite happy with that.
52-52.
And I think UMBC needs to spread the court a little bit, let Mike Mundy operate. He's got a guy guarding him who has 4 fouls. Let's put a little pressure on him.
Fouls left side to Reynolds. Reynolds at the top of the key. Back out to Mundy, and they'll set the offense.
Reynolds is really calling for the ball now, trying to get himself open. They've got to really isolate him on one side.
France left side.
Here we go, Simmons, and he's got Reynolds.
Inside to Reynolds.
That's exactly what they want.
Gets the roll. Kenny Reynolds' first field goal of the game.
Reynolds really wanted that ball.
John Bays inside. Great give and go to Stephen Dorsey.
Stephen Dorsey's made some big baskets, but that was a great pass by John Bays. Those are the 2 captains on this team.
4.5 minutes remain in this contest, and we're locked at 54. A slugfest down to the end.
Mike, at this point in games with 4 minutes to go, your better players, your stars look for the ball, and that's what makes them the stars. You gotta want to see Kenny Reynolds really wanting the ball.
Quick hands by Mike Mundy. Knocked the ball right out of Devin Boyd's hands, but it went off of Mike Mundy, so Towson State will retain possession.
Look for Kurk Lee now to try to take over a little bit for Towson State. He's got 17 points here tonight, and he's their prime offensive threat. And getting down to the nitty-gritty, I'm sure he wants the ball. He wants the game in his hands.
Kurk Lee will inbound to Bays. Out top to Boyd. Left side, Lee. From long range, 3 points, there it is.
That's his 20th point. Kurk Lee wants to shoot the ball. It's a pressure situation. He got his shot there, and he's got his 20th point.
Mike Mundy bring the ball up court for UMBC. Inside to Reynolds. He's hard to stop, but they stopped him there.
A great block by Stephen Dorsey.
There's Lee from 15. Rebound looked like it went off France, and it did.
Very good observation, Mike. I'm sorry, Kurk Lee has 18 points. I must have missed his other 2, or someone must have missed him. He actually has only 18. But it's the biggest lead for Towson State with 3 points with 3:35 to go, Mike.
18, 20 points, it really doesn't make any difference. He's definitely the premier player in tonight's game. Towson State leading 57-54, and Towson State's gonna have possession, Billy. Well, what can we look for UMBC to do defensively?
Well, I think what you're going to see UMBC doing is maybe not panicking or anything like that, but making a couple more traps, putting a little more pressure on the passer, trying to keep the ball out of Kurk Lee's hands, obviously not letting him have open jump shots, and at the other end, coming back and doing exactly what they did the last 2 times down the court, get the ball into Kenny Reynolds' hands. As long as they do that, UMBC should be all right in this game. But when they stray from getting the ball in Reynolds' hand underneath and Simmons' hand shooting the ball, that's when they're going to struggle. But I think they've got an idea of what they need to be doing now.
Well, we'll look, see what they do defensively. We get ready to start the game. 3:35 remaining in the second half.
Okay.
Go ahead, Billy.
I'm sorry, Mike. When you see Kurk Lee bringing the ball in from out of bounds, I'm sure a play has been designed where Kurk Lee will get the 3rd pass here. He will be the guy throwing the ball in, and the play will be designed for him to get a jump shot out of this.
Ball goes to Bays. Cross court to Dorsey. The play was obviously broken up. They barely got the ball in time. Left side, Lee to Bays. Bays inside to Dorsey. Excellent defensive play by France.
Jim France doing it all tonight.
Right side to Simmons. He drives inside, hands off to Reynolds. Reynolds has a shot blocked. Nice defensive play by Stephen Dorsey.
I'll tell you what, Kenny Reynolds is not finding it easy work underneath. He's playing against guys who've been out there all night, and he's gotten 2 blocked in a row by Stephen Dorsey.
UMBC to inbound, Larry Simmons.
Now we'll see their inbounds play. Look for Simmons to go, oh no. Look for Simmons wide open for the jump shot.
There he is.
As Kurk Lee should have.
3-pointer, in and out. But Kenny Reynolds is there for the rebound. He's fouled, shot won't go, but he'll go to the line for 2. Kenny Reynolds starting to come alive, Billy.
He's coming alive, but he can't get anything to fall. That one he finally got to the rim, but it wouldn't drop. He needs to connect on these foul shots. Towson State now in a position down by up by 3 points to really start to try to dictate a little tempo.
Reynolds 2 for 5 from the line this season. I'm sure that'll pick up as this year goes by.
UMBC has had to rely on great balance tonight. They've gotten it with Jim France coming off of, got it with 10 points. Larry Simmons has 11 to lead him, but you got Dwayne Faust with 9, Jerry Reynolds with 8. A real balanced attack, and Earl Hawkins has to be pleased with that.
First shot's a little strong. At this time in the game, we would normally go to our Parks player of the game, but with such a close game, I think I'm going to hold off a little bit, Billy, and we'll pick it in a minute or two.
I'll tell you, in justice to those good people at Parks, we should make sure that we wait to the end of the game to give the proper player the award.
And we'll do that. Reynolds hits 1 of 2. Towson retains a 2-point lead, 57-55. Little under 3 minutes remain in this game.
Here's the 1-3-1 trap by UMBC, trying to make something happen. Towson State with a 2-point lead wants to take a little time out the clock, make it a shorter game now with the lead.
Right side, Lee driving. Never had a chance to let that shot off. Larry Simmons, not a good foul, Billy.
I don't think so, Mike. I really don't think so. He really didn't have any position. He's not a shot blocker. He's just put himself in a tough position there. Maybe he just wants to see Kurk Lee make 2 foul shots. I don't think that's an automatic shot for Kurk Lee, the leaping leaner from 12 feet. But maybe Larry Simmons did.
Well, the last time the UMBC Retrievers defeated Towson State was 10 years ago this season, when they swept 2 contests that year.
Mike, it would be a really nice win to open the season for Terry Truax, to win a game on the road against a big local rival who's got a very good team this year. Towson State's, if you've taken a look at their schedule, they play 3 ACC teams, including a home game against North Carolina in Hershey, Pennsylvania this year, before going into the ECC. It's going to be a long, tough year for Towson State, and I think they may have the team to face that competition this year.
Kurk Lee makes a pair of free throws, and they take a 4-point lead, 59-55. Important possession here for UMBC.
Just need to go back down to that well. Need to get the ball into Reynolds or Larry Simmons' hands.
Mundy right side. Up top to France, lobs inside to Faust. A dangerous pass, and they're going to turn it over. Towson State ball.
Okay, now UMBC's going to have to pick it up full court. Look for them to really extend now. Coach Hawkins is screaming for it. Devin Boyd brings the ball up, and I look at Kurk Lee, who has 20 points and 8 rebounds, going straight to the hoop.
And it's going to fall. Who's the foul going to be on? It's going to be offensive. But the big news is Kurk Lee hit the shot, the running one-hander. It's going to count.
A lot of numbers for Kurk Lee tonight. That's his 22nd point. He's got 8 rebounds. He's laying on the ground. He's got 4 fouls, but when you're late in the game, I'm sure he'd trade 2 points for that foul.
The Tigers take a commanding 6-point lead with a little over 2 minutes remaining, 61-55. Strategy here, Billy, will they shoot the 3, go for 2?
Well, I think it's too early for the 3. I think what a wiser strategy would be to try to get the ball down to Reynolds, because when Kenny Reynolds gets the ball, he can not only score a field goal, but he has the opportunity to score with the clock stopped on foul shots.
That was Kurk Lee's 5th foul. He fouls out of the game. 22 points, 8 rebounds.
That's Kurk Lee's 5th foul. Kurk Lee fouls out of the game. I'll tell you what, Mike, we're just 1 foul off, and that's
we're both college graduates, and we can't count to 5. Well, that's why we're sportscasters and
I'll tell you
not
what,
mathematicians.
Larry Simmons gets the opportunity with the clock stopped to cut it back down to 4 points, and now you see the pressure turned up. And without Kurk Lee in the game, they're going to have to rely on Devin Boyd to handle the ball now for Towson State. Still anybody's game.
2 minutes, 10 seconds remain on the clock. Towson by 4, 61-57. Boyd out top. Right side, Williamson. Back to Boyd. Boyd working against Mundy.
20 seconds on the shot clock.
Williamson against Faust. Nice defense by Faust not to foul on that play.
But a real forced shot by Kelly Williamson. Did not have to shoot it. Now UMBC has a chance to cut it to a pair.
Kenny Reynolds to Simmons. Inside to Kenny Reynolds. A little bit firm, but to Faust. Faust throws up a prayer, and it's good. Unbelievable. Darren Faust throws it up. I don't even think he was looking at the basket. He just threw it up and it went in.
I'll tell you what, Dwayne Faust shot that left-handed, falling down. Another one of those plays that you work on in your summer camps, you work on in practice. Hey, UMBC's down by 2 points, a chance to cut it to 1. And guess what, Mike? I'm getting a call from our director in the booth. We got to decide who the Parks Players Play of the Game is.
Well, I don't know. We'll decide right here, Billy. I'm going to vote for the man on the line, Dwayne Faust.
Well, I'll tell you what, since he hits that foul shot, we'll give it to Dwayne Faust.
So it is. Dwayne Faust doing an excellent job inside with the absence of Kenny Reynolds. He scored in double figures, and Dwayne Faust is our Parks Sausage Player of the Game.
I'll tell you what, Dwayne Faust has done what you got to do when your best players are out. Really pick up the slack. And with 12 points and 4 rebounds, and more importantly, big shots like that and completing the three-point play, gives UMBC a jug. They're right in the thick of this game.
61-60 is our score. Devin Boyd at the line.
Did anybody ever say anything about baptism under fire? This is a freshman, Devin Boyd.
If that was a baptism under fire, he got burned. He missed the free throw. 61-60. UMBC has a chance to take the lead here. There goes Mundy. Left side, Faust to Mundy. Mundy to Simmons for 3. It's good. Larry Simmons hits the shot of the game. Three-pointer. UMBC up by 2.
Terry Truax elects to call a timeout. His team's only down by 2 points, but UMBC has come back from a 6-point deficit, Mike, because they've been very disciplined. They stayed with their game plan. They went to Kenny Reynolds. They got Larry Simmons the open jump shot. They've relied on a nice shot by Dwayne Faust, but the key is they haven't strayed from what they wanted to do from the beginning of the game.
And the 3,000 fans here at the Fieldhouse start to rock. We will rock you to cheer, and they are doing exactly that to Towson State. Larry Simmons hitting a big three-pointer.
Terry Truax is in a huddle right now. His team is down by 2 points with 1:10. His primary scorer of the evening is out of the game. I think he'd be very wise to rely right now on Stephen Dorsey. It's a center who's not done a whole lot as far as creating offensive plays. They should get the ball in his hands. Let him make the key decision. Devin Boyd will do well just to get Stephen Dorsey the ball in the middle of the paint. I think Stephen Dorsey and Kelly Williamson are the major threats right now for Towson State, and I think that's what Truax is designing over there.
Dorsey hasn't made every shot, but he's been powerful every time he's gotten the ball in the low post.
Devin Boyd, who missed that last foul shot, is 4 for 8 from the night. As a Division I point guard, Mike, you're gonna have to do a lot better than shoot 50% from the foul stripe.
And there's a steal. Here comes Simmons. He's fouled and he reverses it. Simmons takes a head dive, but not before he makes the layup. Larry Simmons.
Larry Simmons has 18 points tonight. A nice play, a key steal. A key steal by Larry Simmons.
They're hanging from the rafters here at the Fieldhouse in Catonsville. Larry Simmons, an 80% free throw shooter, has a chance to go up by 5 with a minute left in the game.
I'll tell you, Mike, we may be premature on the Parks Player of the Game, but I'll tell you what, I'm sure Larry Simmons doesn't mind sharing the award tonight with Dwayne Faust, so we'll make them co-players of the game. How about that?
Fair enough, fair enough.
Terry Truax elects to use another timeout, Mike. His team's down 4. They may be down 5 when they get the ball back. It's not too early to call for the three-pointer, but I really think they'd be wise to just go strong at the basket, try to pick up the easy hoop and possibly the foul to score with the clock stopped.
Well, that's a good point, Billy. A three-pointer won't get them anything. They're going to have to get at least 1 two-pointer, so they might as well get their hard work done first.
You look at the game as possessions right now, Mike. Towson State needs the ball 3 times to win the game. And so what they've got to do is score and then plan on defensive pressure. So Coach Truax has to do 2 things in this huddle. He's got to design a play that will score some points for him, and then he's got to design a press that will turn the ball over for him very quick. That, and also identify people that he can foul on the UMBC roster that can miss a free throw so he can get that ball right back.
Towson has not used the press effectively this game, Billy. How tough is it at the end of a game for a team that hasn't pressed in the game to go into the press this late?
Well, it's very difficult, but it can work to their advantage, and there being a surprise factor. UMBC has not had to face it all night, and so suddenly it'll be something new. But I'll tell you what, Towson State should identify a couple of the poor foul shooters. I'll tell you, I'd foul Kenny Reynolds. He's missed his foul shots. He's their best player, but he hasn't hit them tonight. He still looks a little cold.
Don't foul this guy. He's 80% from the line. 66-61's our score here with a minute left. Towson calls a quick timeout, and they're going to honor it. Ed Muldrow gets the inbounds pass, but he can't go any farther than 1 foot.
It's a new rule, Mike. The old rule used to be you had 3 seconds to throw the ball in and 5 seconds for a guy to catch it in bounds. Now it's simply 5 seconds to get the ball in bounds. So even if he called the timeout at 4 seconds, he's still granted it. I'll tell you, UMBC took the element of surprise and pressed the team that was behind. A very, very good move by Earl Hawkins' squad. It takes them 10 seconds to get the ball up the court that way.
Well, take a listen to the crowd, really getting fired up now. Their team's up by 5 with 1 minute and 4 seconds left.
The crowd better cheer loud because it'll be a while before they see this UMBC team again.
Psychologically, let's talk about that use of that timeout, Billy. Towson State unable to do anything with the inbounds pass. Will that take anything out of them, do you think?
Well, I'll tell you what, Terry Truex has used 3 of his 4 timeouts pretty quickly here. What they'll do is design another play. I'm confident they'll get the ball in, but now he's got 3 things to design: an inbounds play, a play to score, and the defensive pressure. A lot of things for a young king to learn.
Simmons deep on Stephen Dorsey. Ball loose on the floor, picked up by UMBC. John Bays into Muldrow, turnaround 10-footer, no good. Rebound, Kenny Reynolds. And the quick foul on Kenny Reynolds. Big players make big plays in big games, and Kenny Reynolds makes a big rebound.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's unfortunate that Towson State has to come into this game and rely on Ed Muldrow, who just hasn't played a lot tonight, to make the big shot for him. It's a learning experience for Devin Boyd and for Kurk Lee, but they're going to understand that they cannot commit the silly fouls early in the game because their team needs them late.
Well, if you ask Billy Stone, this is the guy that Towson State wants on the line. Kenny Reynolds, he's had a difficult night. In fact, I think he's had a difficult life on the free throw line.
Kenny Reynolds is going to do a lot of things. And that ball, that's a violation. He didn't even hit the rim with the ball. Mike, I think it's that microphone hanging in the back of the backboard that distracted him on that.
You put that up there, didn't you? Towson State inbounds the ball. Kelly Williamson bringing up the ball against Faust.
They don't have a lot of time to play with it here. They got to get the ball up on the glass, and that's a foul.
Not what Faust wanted to do.
If you look at Earl Hawkins over there, he's going to age quickly with plays like that. He's got his team up by 5 points with 45 seconds to go. Dwayne Faust does a good job playing defense all the way down the court. No need to foul there. And now, guess what happens? You get a guy, Kelly Williamson, who gets the score with the clock stop, and it also allows Coach Truex's team to set up defensive pressure with the clock stop, a dead ball situation.
Williamson, an efficient free throw shooter, but he'll have to deal with the Greek crowd behind the basket. No good, but John Bays grabs the rebound. He'll shoot a three-pointer. It's good.
John Bays hits a three-pointer, the center on the team, and Coach Truex uses his last timeout with 7 seconds to go, but it's a one-point game. A big shot by the senior center, Mike.
Well, John Bays has tried 3 shots from there tonight. One was an air ball, one was a little long, but the one that counted was nothing but net.
It's the first basket by Bays tonight. Mike, when you lose your leading scorers like Kurk Lee, you're going to have to rely on unlikely heroes, and you hope that your seniors step to the forefront there, and that's what John Bays did. And more credit to him just to take that shot.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I want my center shooting a three-pointer, but if he's going to hit nothing but net, he can take it every time.
Well, Coach Truex is over there saying, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. He's a pretty good coach on that play. I said earlier, you know, these fans won't get to see UMBC for a long time. Their next home game is December 7th against Loyola.
And that game will also be televised right here on Home Team Sports. Yours truly, along with Billy Stone, will return as we have the Battle of Baltimore Part 2. Loyola, one of the other teams in the Baltimore area,
I'll tell you what, Mike, I really like what the schools in Baltimore do. They really openly play each other. They set it out on the court, and they decide who the best team is. It's unlike the capital area where a lot of the teams have ego problems or what have you. Won't get into it, and they just don't play.
Something everybody would really like to see. Maybe one year it'll happen, but not in the foreseeable future. I question the strategy there, Billy, only because Kenny Reynolds becomes the man they're throwing the ball to. You'd think Earl Hawkins would bring him down the floor and tell him to stand in the corner for a while.
You know, you make a very good point there, Mike, and Earl Hawkins seems a little upset. There were some other options to throw the ball to some other players on the team right now, but yet Kenny Reynolds got the ball, and obviously he's going to be fouled. He's going to be mugged, but he only gets a 1-and-1 there. I'll tell you what, Mike, I'm going to go out on a limb. He hits this foul shot.
I was going to say the same thing. Well, let's see how we do as Vegas. Hopefully he'll hit the rim of it. Net.
If John Bays can sit out from 22 feet and hit a three-pointer, Kenny Reynolds can come to the line and hit a 15-footer.
Billy Stone, put your money with Billy. You can reach him through your 2 for 2. UMBC takes a 4-point lead with 35 seconds left. Towson State up in a hurry to Bays. Up to Williamson. Williamson will try an 18-footer. No, he won't. He'll throw it back to Bays. Great defensive play. Who's it out on? It's out on Williamson. Kenny Reynolds disrupted the play, and it's going to go right out on Williamson.
Still plenty of time. 24 seconds. Towson State needs to set up some pressure. And look, there's not a lot of pressure there. And Faust gets the ball. He's fouled by Bays.
Kenny Faust is going to go to the line. Our co-player of the game, who did such a brilliant job inside in the absence of Kenny Reynolds. He really picked the game up inside.
Dwayne Faust, a 78% free throw shooter. I'll tell you what, UMBC is filled with some guys who are very capable from the foul line. A lot of coaches are cursed with bad foul shooters because when you go out and recruit, you don't recruit foul shooting, you recruit basketball players, and you hope they can shoot fouls.
Faust misses his first attempt, and that's all he's going to get, 1-and-1. Towson State's got to get the ball up in a hurry. Here comes Kennell Jones, right side, to Muldrow, to Bays. Bays from the same spot.
And he got it.
2 for 2. 10 seconds, 9. UMBC needs to get the ball in bounds, and they do. They get it to Simmons, and Simmons is fouled with 5 seconds left.
Terry Truax found himself without a timeout when he really needed it. That basket went through with 12 seconds to go on the clock. Actually, 13 seconds to go on the clock.
Very good point. You think back to that time when Towson State could not get the ball in bounds. That good defense really paid off for UMBC there.
Well, what Terry Truax will say is I usually get 5 timeouts a game, and you TV people came in and stripped me of one with all your TV timeouts, and I only have 4. But what Towson State needs to do quite seriously is they got to count on Larry Simmons knocking down both of these foul shots. They need to get a play, spread your wings so they get a 3-point attempt. 5 seconds is plenty of time.
It's not a bad bet. Terry Truax calling his players to the sideline. He doesn't have a, if they step out of bounds, I believe they'll be called for a technical foul there.
Hey, they're about to hand the ball to Larry Simmons, just let him shoot. They better get on the line here.
Simmons, an 80% free throw shooter. Here comes Ed Hawkins, Terry Truax. They're gonna have a fight between head coaches there. No, what do you think they're discussing about there?
I think Earl Hawkins is saying the play should be made. His players being iced at the foul line with just a delay in time. The ball should be given to Simmons and allowed to shoot. And Hawkins is livid about it.
We're not sure quite what the call is, but everybody's in position now.
Stephen Dorsey's foul was his 5th, and he's out of the game. That's the 3rd Towson player to foul out.
UMBC playing 4 players all the way back. Simmons' first shot. He needs both. It's good.
Okay, Towson State's gonna either be down by 2 or 3 points. What they've got to do is get the ball to Kennell Jones. Kennell Jones is gonna run the ball up the sidelines and try to get the ball to Kelly Williamson.
Simmons makes it.
With a long shot.
In bounds.
Here comes Kennell Jones for the 3. He's got to get back behind the line. What's he doing? Ball game.
UMBC victorious, 70-67. It's a madhouse here at the Fieldhouse. UMBC runs a barn burner. And let's talk about that last play, Billy.
Well, everything worked for Towson State, but Kennell Jones drove the ball down the court well, and Kelly Williamson went inside the 3-point line. As soon as he does that, the game's over because they needs a 3-pointer to tie the game. It's a long season. You learn from your mistakes.
We'll come back and take a final recap with a final score, 70-67. We'll be back after this.
Hi, I'm Chris Hanaby, and I'm a small business banking specialist with First National Bank of Maryland. We know that business people expect quality service and quality services. That's why we try so hard to exceed the expected. Because at First National, we're big on small business. Pardon me, please. I have a customer meeting.
First National Bank of Maryland, exceeding the expected.
There's a time to work, and there's a time to play.
But the Lakers right now are shooting a whopping 53% from the field.
And the reason is their defense. They've been able to get out and transition and show why they are such a great team running the ball.
Stolen by Rodman, lead pass Danley, Vinnie Johnson. Lakers right back. They're starting 5 in double figures, but Cooper and Thompson from the bench are in there now. Cooper from the baseline with his first points of the game.
And that's a big hoop for not only Michael Cooper, for the Lakers to just allow Magic to stay on the bench and get a little rest.
Vinnie Johnson short, Lane Beer follow up, no good. Kareem. Tiger inside defensively, rebounding wise. Green stripped away by Thomas. It's a 3-on-1 now. Danley. Thomas puts it up.
Well, there was goaltending on that play.
Pat Riley wants his team to get back and push it up, keep the pressure on the Pistons.
I don't understand why Vinnie Johnson isn't out there pressuring Cooper. He's got to get up on him and force Cooper to handle the ball a little bit more with his left hand.
5 on the shot clock for the Lakers. Scott, and the 24-second clock expires.
Do you think the Lakers miss Magic Johnson?
Pat Riley is screaming at his team. He said, come on, look up at the clock, see where we are. Green goes out of the game, and Worthy comes back in for L.A. 80-68. Pistons have made up only 2 points with all of that so far in this early fourth period. Nearly 2 minutes gone by. Danley can't draw the foul. Now he does. Nope, we're going to have a jump ball.
Well, I don't know how the official Earl Strom was able to call that, because he was blocked out by a maze of players between he and the ball.
Danley will jump for the Pistons.
Okay, there's a good play. No good, no call. Now the official is to the right.
We're going to jump it again, Kareem and Danley. We couldn't tell from that view.
No.
I think Earl has X-ray vision.
Hey, Earl Strom, he's officiated more games in the World Championship than anybody ever.
One of the best ever, too.
No question about that. Was voted by the players as the best official in the NBA.
Byron Scott. Lane Beer into Danley's hands, and Danley throws it away into Cooper's. These turnovers are backbreakers, even though they're early in the fourth period for the Pistons. They need something quick. Kareem thinks it should be a goaltend, and it was trapped against the glass, but Lane Beer was called for the foul first, his second person.
Now here's Lampier going for the basketball. Let's see if the ball is pinned to the basket.
Looks like it is.
It sure does.
Anywhere in the world you can dial direct.
London Market is closing.
You can dial with MCI.
How is Nikkei Dow?
You can dial with unsurpassed call quality.
The dollar's strong and holding.
And you can save up to 22% on international calls versus AT&T.
Get me your office in Frankfurt.
MCI Worldwide Direct Dialing. Now there's no reason in the world to dial with anyone else.
All right, let's buy.
Until you call, you'll never know how much better a long-distance company can be. MCI. Let us show you.
America's watched Chevy S10 and Ford Ranger go head-to-head to see who's king of the hill in value. And America's finding S10 has more standard horsepower, bigger base engine, and bigger cargo box than Ranger, yet Chevy's priced less. Result? Chevy S10 sales are up, while Ranger sales are sliding off. Make your switch to Chevy now with $500 cash back on selected S10 pickups.
That's today's Chevy truck.
Is there some sort of problem?
Seagram's peach.
Well, it's smooth, like your skin.
Wild berries.
Luscious, like your lips.
Come with me.
See, it's Seagram's golden. Sparkles, like your eyes. Anything for world peace.
This NBA game summary is sponsored by Seagram's Coolers, sending the families of the U.S. team athletes to Seoul.
Somebody once said there are only two good plays, South Pacific and put the ball in the basket. And look what the Lakers are doing and what the Pistons are not doing, Bill.
Just filling it up. And the reason they're shooting 60% is they've been able to get their fast break going, get the ball off the glass, and outnumber the Pistons in fast breaking opportunities.
Up till now, the Pistons, with a great defense, have limited their opposition into the 40s. But they're playing the Lakers, and Magic Johnson has come back in the ball game. He did not start this fourth quarter, so in about 2.5 minutes, the Lakers have lost just 2 points off of their lead. Kareem misses from the line. The only thing he's not doing well today is free throw shooting. He's 3 for 7. He's got one, though. 81-68, 13-point lead. Thompson picks up Thomas on the switch. Rodman. And here come the Lakers. Fact is, the Pistons don't have enough offensive firepower out there. Magic Johnson hits. 2-point basket, so he comes back and immediately has an impact. 16 on 6 for 7 shooting.
And that's why, Dick, when you said the double team, when Isaiah came off there, throwing it to Rodman, he has no offense.
Lambeer loses it out of bounds, and the Pistons in a heap of trouble here in the fourth quarter.
This is where they have to take a deep breath and show some poise and be able to battle back, because this could be devastating to this ball club. Chuck Daly would have to do a lot of work to build their confidence up.
Pick and roll, and the ball was thrown away. No foul call. It has been a lot more of a physical game than we saw in the first two.
Well, two things. More physical, and we're seeing the running game, especially from the Lakers.
Sally with a jumper. Rodman follows up and gets the basket. But we're seeing a lot of the Pistons taking shots they don't normally take.
And right now, that's where Dennis Rodman is so effective offensively, on the boards. Not shooting running one-handers, or John Sally shooting the jump shots.
Rodman, who has 10 rebounds in the game, has just picked up his 3rd personal.
Now here's Rodman out there trying to hound Magic Johnson, using his body, being very physical against him. And right here, he picks up the foul.
Second team foul on Detroit. Worthy. Cooper. Sally and Rodman go after it. Sally winds up. 4 minutes gone by. Fourth quarter, plenty of time, but the Lakers give no indication they're weakening. He kicked it. And it'll be Pistons ball.
Again, we see the defense of the Lakers. Penetration, but now they're rotating well down, helping each other.
Not necessarily a weather forecast, but it seems to have gotten cooler in here.
Well, the fans are just not into the game at this point. That's a reason.
Sally again trying to jumper, and Rodman is there. He misses this time. 83-70, 7:40 to go. Sun is diminished, and I think that the Lakers, if they were a little fatigued, can't be right now, and I'm not sure they were anyway.
I don't think they were.
Three on the shot clock for the Lakers. Worthy, air ball, and the 24-second buzzer. Now Detroit continues it up. Dantley hits the ball away, and it's an 11-point game.
Now with this lineup that the Pistons have in there, Dennis Rodman is playing the 2 spot, the off-guard position.
Steal, Thomas in trouble. He's trapped. And a timeout smartly called by Isaiah Thomas.
Could you believe no Piston came to give any help? There were 3 Pistons on the other side of the half-court line.
It's a full timeout. I'm surprised at this. He nearly turned it over, and it wouldn't have been his fault.
Yeah, he comes in and makes the great steal, but there's no Piston coming to give him any help. Saying, hey, but he does walk, as you'll notice how he'll move his pivot foot.
Well, there's the Laker bench. Michael Thompson and Cooper, they did their job, didn't they?
Teamwork makes winners. The All-You-Can-Be is sponsored by the U.S. Army. No one player sums up the concept of teamwork better than Magic Johnson. The Lakers' point guard is always on the prowl for an easy basket. But in an effort to keep everyone involved, he unselfishly tries to find teammates in heavy traffic. With the ability to make all those around him better players, teamwork has made Magic Johnson the best he can be.
Alpha team, aggressor tank spotted.
In a battle drill, you need horsepower, firepower, people power. That's teamwork.
Moving tank, direct front, 2000.
This team uses a computer, thermal sight, laser rangefinder.
Ah!
Yeah! All that you can. We win, the whole tank wins. The whole team wins, not just one person.
Find your future in the Army.
It's Formula One thunder roaring through the streets of Motor City. The Detroit Grand Prix next Sunday on CBS Sports.
Pat O'Brien is inside the dressing room, and a lot of goodies around you, Pat, huh?
That's right, Dick. As a matter of fact, when the Lakers come back from the game, they'll come to an empty, well, they'll come to this dressing room, and Mrs. Johnson, Christine Johnson, who has a tradition of preparing food for the players.
Yes, I wanted to do it on Thursday, but Irvin insisted I do it today.
You wanted it on Sunday. Run us down the menu now. So, by the way, the chicken is awesome. But run us down the menu.
Okay, we have fried chicken, potato salad, that's a tossed salad, and that's a pasta salad, homemade rolls, cake, and potato pies.
Looks good. Magic loves Mom's cooking, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
He demands it. Nothing like Mother's cooking. I can see the guys in the truck salivating already. Let's go back to Dick.
All right, Pat, thank you very much. And there's Irvin Sr. and Jr. Sweet potato pie is one of the staples that Christine Johnson makes. And after he had his problems with the flu and many trips to the restroom, he said, sweet potato pie is one thing I can eat that my mom will make for us.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. You know, if there's one stat that tells the story of this second half, is the foul line. Lakers are 15 for 22 from the foul line. The Pistons, 2 for 4.
83-72, Lambeer. This is long. Sally tries to save it, and it's off of Rodman.
Los Angeles ball.
So the Lakers take over with 6:45 to go.
Number 45, AC Green checks into the Lakers.
Byron Scott and AC Green come in, and
along with number 4,
going out, Cooper.
Byron Scott.
And Kareem goes out. Thomas in Scott's jersey knocks it away. Still Laker ball with 13 seconds. 6:34 to go in the fourth period. The lead is 11.
The key word for the Pistons, if they're going to get back in this ball game, is defense.
Scott out of bounds. Pistons ball. Now in the second half, Isaiah Thomas has scored 12 of Detroit's 26 points this half. Lambeer, Dumars, and Sally have not scored. Dantley has only 2.
And one of the reasons is that everyone else is standing around. They're not involved in the game. Isaiah's trying to get them involved, but nothing's happening.
Rodman took advantage of the fronting defense.
And this is a real gamble by Chuck Daly, putting Rodman at the 2-guard position.
Danley for the push on Green. Third team foul against the Pistons.
Because with Rodman in the ballgame, they don't have that offensive power punch that they might have from Dumars or Vinnie Johnson.
It's a 9-point game, 83-74. Less than 6 minutes to play in the fourth period. AC Green, big basket for the Lakers. Pistons had scored 6 in a row. And if Detroit is going to make a run, now would seem to be the time. Their best if only.
Well, AC Green has made them pay for helping out off him.
Thomas on the drive. Isaiah with 22. 9 points again.
Well, the big guy is what AC Green is doing. He has 20 points in this ball game.
Shot clock. Sally with 3 fouls on Worthy. Scott hit hard. Sally came over. Let's see if he gets his fourth. No, it's Isaiah Thomas with his third. No one in any real foul trouble. In fact, no one in the game has as many as 4 personally.
On the line for the Lakers, shooting 2 of 4, Byron Scott.
Byron Scott. And Pat Riley. And Chuck Daly has been hit with 2 technical fouls and thrown out of the game. He's yelling about a 3-second call that he didn't get, and Daly has left the game. Ron Rothstein and Dick Versace will run the team.
This is really out of character for Chuck Daly, going out on the court and challenging an official. But what happened is he thought that last play there was a 3-second violation that was not called by the officials.
Ron Rothstein, the man on the left, Dick Versace on the right. Sometimes, and you know this too, coaches like to get themselves kicked out, hoping that it'll light a spark under their team. What about now?
I don't know if Chuck Daly would want to do that, but we'll see if that's an ingenious move or not. But Ronnie Rothstein now will be the head coach over there on the bench.
.76, so the lead is 13. Pistons have cut it down to 9. And Thomas and Michael Thompson collide inside. The foul is against Michael. The rest of the Lakers congratulate him because of his physical play inside. That's what they want from him.
That's what they need, and he can contribute in that way. He doesn't have to score all the time.
Amazingly enough, and this may be a testimony to the Pistons' style today, they've only attempted 7 free throws in the game.
Checks back in the Pistons lineup.
Dumars replaces Dantley.
Now that's only the 3rd time in Chuck Daly's coaching career here in Detroit that he's been thrown out of a game.